Instagram fires up first, Facebook second, YouTube fires up third. Good evening. Welcome to 235, episode 235 of Wise Advice. Hey, we'll do what we always do. Give you a minute to get in here, get settled. And tonight's gonna be a little bit different than normal. I already have the show pre-recorded, so I think we'll just hang out tonight. Just kind of hang out and just catch up, see how it's going. And then we'll maybe 15, 20 minutes or so. Harper checks in first. Good evening to you. So we'll check in for 15, 20 minutes or so, and then we'll wrap this up. Then I will get the show published tonight, and you'll have the episode for you first thing in the morning. So that's kind of the plan. Lee, I thought we did 234 already. Is this, am I off on my number? Let me just double check. Lee says, what about 234? Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, 234 is in the app. This is 235. Woohoo! Glad I got that squared away. Shannon checks in from Denver, Maryland, says, I hope someone can save me from myself. Let's chat about that for sure. Let me go all the way back to the beginning, though. So, Harper, I got you. Hildy's here. Just got home from a week away and couldn't miss this. Very nice. Karen checks in from Long Island. Judy says, tweetless in Seattle, but here, got it. Keith is here. Daisy, checking in. Good evening to you. Let's see. Margie is here. Maria is here from Connecticut. And I got you, Shannon, from Denver. So Marilyn says, hope someone can save me from myself. So here's, I'm going to give you, what does that mean? Tell me what that means. So let's, like I said, tonight we're just going to hang out for a little bit. So whatever you got for questions, let's fire it up. Michelle checks in on vacation in Hawaii. Awesome. Very cool is that. I can't believe you're hanging out with us in Hawaii, but that's fun. Jan checks in from Illinois. Very nice. Marsha's here. Bev is here. Diane, I got you. Good evening. Lee says, yep, you missed 234 somehow, Lee. Susan, good evening to you from California. Let's see. Keith and Alice, good evening to both of you. Peggy checks in from Florida, Portland, Oregon. Annette, Annette checks in. Let's see, Michelle is here. Colette from Long Island. Lori says, hey. Let's see. I did not skip Daisy. I got Daisy right. I did. I got it. Because I went back to the beginning. So I saw it, and then I went back. And so, no skipping. Didn't happen. Catherine checks in from Pennsylvania. Wendy's here. Good evening to you. Corey says, drive by. Hello, goodbye. I love it. I love it. Hagerstown, Maryland. Ronalda, good evening to you. So that's what's kicked off. Ronalda kicked off the stocking stuffer extravaganza. Chris is here. Good evening to you. So let's see, Losing It Lynn, good evening to you on Instagram as well. Very fun. Screen's black. Nope, screen's fine here. Yeah, Lori says 234 was the Wednesday afternoon show. Yep, I remember that now. Jeanette says, been a long time. It's been a couple days. Very fun. Marilyn says, can't get myself to stay on program all day. Maria is here. Karen's here. Bev. Let's see. Bev says, thanks for everyone who joined me on Fitbit. Lee is here. Pam in Colorado Springs. Hubby says hello. Hello. Vero Beach. Terry checks in. Delilah, good evening to you. Yo. Fun. Marcia says, I too am struggling. Complacency. All right, let's figure out what all that means, because that's kind of an important part of this journey, really. So Jennifer says, Trophy Club, hello from Trophy Club, Texas. Been a long while since here for a live episode. Well, you're back now. It's very cool. I suspect for a lot of us, not that it's not the way this works, but I suspect that for a lot of us, from now until January, we're going to be in that kind of little bit of and we're slowly going to come out of it as we get closer and closer to January. We're going to have some good days here and there. We're going to have some days here and there. Christmas is going to hit, and then boom, New Year's is going to hit, and then boom, we're going to be back on fire. So you're in this kind of a holding pattern for a lot of us. Some are rocking straight, great, boom, kill it. But some are just kind of in this little bit of a funk. And the cool thing is you've checked in here, which is kind of neat, because checking in here lets me know that you're checked in here, which is the important piece. So as long as you're checking in, that's 90% of the battle. Let's see. Jan says, I'm trying to come in on, but Facebook won't let me. Facebook is working here for the rest of us. Let's see. Marilyn says, I start strong, but I'm just binging after losing 55 pounds over the last 2 years. Just can't get the hang of it, I presume, still can't do the see more thing. Idaho, Betty checks in. So here we go. So that's kind of a common, right? People wake up in the morning ready to go. You wake up on fire for breakfast, and you do a great breakfast, and then that motivation carries you to lunch, and then sometimes even makes it to dinner, and then after dinner, just everything just falls apart. I've heard that more than once from a lot of different places. There's a couple things we've got to realize when that starts happening. One of them is 90%, or I'm making the numbers up, so don't quote me on the statistic, but 90% of the time, or often, let's go with that. Often it's boredom kicking in. This time of year it starts getting darker around the house a little earlier. So therefore, that evening kind of settles a little differently. So boredom kicks in. So we replace boredom, and so you walk to the pantry, you open the pantry door, and you stand there staring there, looking. That's boredom. You're waiting for something to jump out at you, something to do, and you can't find it, so you just grab whatever. 90% of the time, making that number up again as well. Often, whatever you grabbed didn't do it, so you'll grab something else later, because you need to solve the boredom habit. So you need to find activities that you can push off to the evening, and use the evening time to get them to get that locked in. So that's probably the one of the big things. The other thing is that having fruit, vegetables, or mostly fruit, I guess, on hand at this point, probably a good little snack in the evening. Very, very, very rarely are we going to go. If you're hungry, you'll grab an apple or a banana and eat it. If you're bored, the apple or banana is not enticing because it's not really what you're looking for. So you got to keep those things in mind as well. But what you're experiencing, Marilyn, is extremely common. I hear this all the time. I've experienced it myself, but I hear it all the time as well. That you just get to that evening time frame and you're just kind of like, yeah. So you got to find some sort of trigger mechanism that reminds you in the middle of the day and in the middle of the evening, the same thing you woke up with in the morning, that same fire that you woke up with. How do you remind yourself in the middle of the day to do that? Los Angeles checks in. Jessica's here. Glenda checks in from Aubrey, Texas. Glad to be here. So both on YouTube. So thanks for joining in. So tonight's format, the show's already pre-recorded. I already got that ready to go. I just got to get an intro done, and then I'll publish that this evening. So we're going to spend a good, 10, 15 minutes or so, maybe half hour, hanging out, catching up, chatting. So whatever you got, this is the time to, hey, what's been bugging you? What's been irking you? What's on your mind? This is what this episode tonight for the live crew will be, and this will not make it into the actual episode. So this is kind of just for those of you who join online tonight. So very cool. Kathy checks in from Syracuse. Bev says hello. Lee says hi to Bev. Jan says, I'm trying to comment on Facebook, but it won't let me. I think it did just let you. Lee Boyd says, guys, I made goal this week. Awesome. That is so cool. Congratulations. How's it feel? Let's go on. That's what I want to know, right? I always ask, when folks make goal, I ask a couple different things. Like, one, how do you feel? Do you feel any better? Certainly, in almost always, the answer is yes. But now the next thing I'm going to ask you is, Lee, were you perfect the entire time? And it's going to be kind of difficult because a little bit of delay, but these are kind of rhetorical questions I want you to ask yourself and think about. When you make goal, were you perfect the entire time? I've yet to have anyone say yes, that they were perfect the entire time. From day one to the day they made goal, they were perfect the entire time. I've never had anyone yet say they were absolutely 100% perfect. So cool. So the good news is you don't have to be perfect to make goal. Kind of neat, kind of freeing, kind of refreshing, right? The other question I ask is what have you done during your journey that you absolutely cannot repeat? Very rarely will I get an answer to that question either. So therefore, you can do this, and that's kind of what we're just trying to teach is that belief system is that you can do this. I believe that you can do it. I know you can do it. See, let's scroll through a little bit. Lee says 341st blue dot this calendar year. So Lee is a different bird altogether. I love the guy. Elaine from Lansdale, Pennsylvania. Good evening to you. Michael Crow says Hurricane Michael keeps us down. I know, man. My brother posted that he's back to work today. I saw he posted a picture from his office. Hopefully you're back to work as well. Man, that's crazy. So nothing can keep you down. I promise you that. I know the hurricane is certainly, the folks down in Panama City area, it's a mess. I get it. I truly do. But don't let it keep you down. You got a lot. You got a lot going on at this point. And so here we are. 2 months later-ish, right? And you're on Facebook connected, so things are looking up, certainly for sure. So let's see. Marie says holding patterns in a funk is an accurate description. And it's okay at this point, really. I mean, it's not. I mean, it depends on you're gonna have to let it be okay, or you're gonna have to attack it, one or the other. So Lee says I'm worried about maintaining over the holidays after just making goal. Yep, very very real concern. So develop a plan now, right? We have. I mean, today's only December 10th. We have 15 days till Christmas, and then we have 10 days. A couple days after, and then the new year hits. So the reality is you're looking at about, at best case scenario, 3 weeks. There's nothing that can happen in 3 weeks that's going to derail you for life, really, right? So just set a goal on a heart. If you're that inclined, set a date for December 27th. Get back to it or something like that. But don't overthink it. Don't stress at it. Michelle's saying again the WW small goal window. Yep, I understand. That's their rule. That's their business model. I'm not going to comment on their business model, but yeah, it's certainly an interesting dichotomy there. Lisa's Prague in the house. Check in here. Boom, boom. Lee's the resident comedian. Let's see. Man, I really wish the see more button on Facebook would work. I don't know why. I've rebooted the app. I've re-downloaded the app, tried it a couple different times. I can't see but half of the comments, which is kind of crazy. Marcia says, same pastry at work that I've avoided for 9 months. Now I'm munching and I hate it. Yep. So come on, think of the first, how powerful was that when you said no to all those other times? Didn't you feel like every time you walked by it for the 9 months prior, every time you walked by, didn't you feel like, boom, I'm in charge, I'm in control? And then suddenly somewhere along the line you go, you know what, one bite's not going to hurt. And the reality is one bite isn't going to hurt. But what happens is that one bite turns into two. That one bite turns into, and basically it just diminishes your rock star status, I'm going to use. So it makes you go to that point where you're like, you know what, versus, no, I got this. And so the place of victory is, no, I got this. There's, boom, got it. That's where we want to get you back to, for sure. Marilyn, Kathleen checks in. Brainbridge, Anna's here. Good evening to you. Jan says, how is Humpty 318? Jason and I tried to connect a couple times via telephone. Our schedules do not allow us to answer. So Michelle, I mean, I don't know what. Ask me a specific question. I'll give you a specific answer, but I'm not going to generally comment. Certainly as an employee, I do have to give a sort of company answer, right, to some extent. Yeah, I can tell you my own opinion if you ask a specific question, but I'm not going to go off on a complete rant on something that I don't know what the question is. So Amy says, hi, can you tell us about a struggle on your journey prior to reaching goal and how you deal with it? Sure. I'm going to take a thought for a second. So, the journey. If you saw the post I put on the app, put on my app, put on Connect, put on Facebook yesterday, there are periods of this journey where socially, right? People invite you out for dinner, people invite you out for drinks, and you actually end up declining because for me, a lot of times it's like, I really want to be good. I had a rough week, whatever, and I want to be good tonight. And then boom, out of the blue, someone invites you to an event. So social engagements for me were always the most difficult part of this because I felt like it was easier for me. It was easier to decline them than it was to try and plan ahead, figure it out, make it work. So I found the easy route for me was to say, okay, I'm just not going to go. And then, but I got tired of living that way. So that was the struggle that I had to kind of overcome. Is that no, social engagements aren't the enemy. My inability to plan, or unwillingness to plan, at sometimes ends up being the challenge that I had to figure out how to overcome. And so, at some point, I'm there, but and so now I do employ a much better balance. Some days, again, better than others. So I'm really looking forward to the holiday season being done. Looking forward to just kind of like just kind of all the bubbling stress that's there, putting that aside and rocking forward. Let's see. Yeah, Lee says, I know it's a head game. I can eat more, but not that much more to maintain. No, not much more, exactly. Let's see. Kat says, Ohio's in the house. Yeah, Janice says, boredom, just staring out into space into the cabinet means I really don't want anything. It's so true, right? When we open, I mean, seriously, I said it just a second ago. We open the cabinet and we stand there looking and like, no, I don't want that. And you end up grabbing something anyways because it's there. Jason, good evening to you. Did 10K PR, 2 hours, 48 minutes. Very nice. No. So 48 minutes on a 10K. Got it. I'm like 2 hours, 48 minutes for a 10K. That's not a PR for you. So 48 minutes on a 10K, which is nice. That's like a 24-minute 5K. That's very nice. Good work, man. Way too. Yeah, I got it now. I got it. I was like, you did it on December 2nd. I figured out the two. I was like, man, a PR of a 10K of 2 hours and 48 minutes. I'm like, Jason, no. But, I mean, for some, it's a great PR, right? For you, I just knew better. I just knew better for you. So let's see. Michelle's asking, I'm giving myself 7 pounds, even though I have to pay over 2. And that's the thing. I mean, here's where I'm at. I'm not afraid of paying in that sense, right? So just, I mean, it's hard to just check in with your doc. See what your doc thinks. That's the advice I'm going to give. Check in with your doctor. See what your doctor tells you. Delilah says, I'm a teacher and the kids keep trying to feed me yummies for Christmas. I get that. So this is hard. This is LaGrassing. Asked any specific dates or races for the Atlanta stop on the international tour. Atlanta, I'm still trying to piece together. I've confirmed Houston and I've confirmed Seattle. Oh wait, I didn't know. I don't think you guys knew I confirmed Houston. Yeah, I confirmed Houston. So Houston's confirmed. Seattle's confirmed. I think we're working on Minneapolis next. That's the 3rd. Atlanta was in the mix. I still don't have it confirmed yet, so I got to figure out some dates and details there. And I have some super duper exciting news that I'm hoping comes true, but I won't know any more on that until later. So that's kind of all I can release at this point, is that Houston and Seattle will commit to both of those. Let's see. So Jamie says, last year I lost all through the holidays. This year I was on fire till September and your birthday. So the cool thing is you can do it, right? And so it's up to you to figure out what the priority is. That's where you get to go. Let's see. Marcia says, Dad, can you touch on those that can't exercise but could still lose weight? Totally. right? Here's the interesting thing about this weight loss thing is like the basic formula is to burn more calories than you consume. That's it. So it's way more advanced than that. There's a lot more that goes into it, but that's the basic premise. So you can do that one or two ways. You can eat a bunch of calories, burn a bunch of calories. You can eat less calories, burn not as many calories. But the bottom line is when it comes to exercise, so many of us believe the definition of exercise is lacing up your shoes, putting on workout clothes, going for a run, going to the gym, doing some sort of activity, which that is a definition of exercise. But what we would encourage you, what I would encourage you to do is not necessarily not that, right? It's just something simple as, I mean, I noticed it this week when I did the 10K challenge is here we are on day 8 for me. I'm at 9,858 steps for the day. But what's interesting about that number specifically for me is I had like 8,300 before lunch. And then from lunch to now, I've gotten about 1,000 steps at best. So that's a good 6-7 hour window where I didn't do anything. So here we are. Is the definition of exercise could have been for me is I could have gotten up a little more consistently while I was at work. I could have hopped up from the desk, could have walked around the room, come back. It would have been 50 to 100 steps. But if you do that regularly, it adds up. So don't get consumed with the notion of you've got to go work out. Don't get consumed with if I can't get to the gym, I can't do anything. If you are free to move about, that can be what we're talking about in this scenario. Just kind of do a little more than you normally do. And that's what's cool about the step trackers is they give you that opportunity to kind of measure what you're doing. So let's see. Jen says, I'm using my laptop and trying to comment, but it won't let me. But again, I'm reading it, so I'm not sure. Yeah, Lee says, no way, no perfection here, but honestly, that's what I think is awesome. Very fun. So let's see. Kathy says, I don't like the new success book, no weekly spot for total loss. Yeah, so I like the total number as well. I think the total loss is an important number, but hey, trust me, they don't ask me when they change these plans. They don't bring me and say, hey, Mike, what do you think about, we're going to change the book to this and this. What do you think about it? It shows up for me like it does for you. So, yeah, very fun. So Michelle says, my husband and I have hiked along the cliffs in Hawaii, something we would have never done 150 pounds ago. Yep. Isn't that? So write that down. You've got to get that documented because at some point your brain's going to be like, hey, we just did this. And it'll be so common for you to do it that you'll forget that it's special to be able to do it. And then it's like you start taking that for granted. And I think that kind of plays into this complacency thing is when we start having success, we start experiencing new things in our life and we start doing things that we're not used to doing. And so it's exciting, and that excitement keeps you going. Well, then suddenly it's not exciting to go for a run anymore because you go 3 days a week, right? So it's not that it's not exciting, but it doesn't have that newness. And so that helps the complacency set in a little bit. It's like, yeah, I always do that. And you take for granted the fact that you're out doing that. And then slowly you either slow down, you stop doing it, or you just don't feel like that activity is special. So it doesn't hurt to write down some things along your journey that are happening as they're happening for the first time, and then certainly check back in with yourself and say, oh, you know what? This hike that we're doing, I know we go hiking every Saturday, but there was a point in time where I couldn't do that. And that's where the true story and success comes in from. Kat says her meeting types in the total in the tiny little space. Yep. So Michelle, it's more than just commenting on it. It's actually getting it somewhere where you can actually physically read it later because it's fresh in your mind right now, right? But at some point, it's going to be so routine that it won't be fresh in your mind. And then what I want you at that point, when you get to the point where you say, oh, I'm struggling, if that period comes around for you and you go back and read it, then it's different because you're not going to be able to remind yourself when you get to that point where things get kind of complacent. So the way to remind yourself is actually reread what you're thinking right now. That's the power of the written word. So, Michael says, not 100% perfect, but we never gave up. Persevere. We are back. Love it. Yeah, Lee says there is no perfect. I agree. Pamela says, why did we all get new booklets in the workshop? New program-ish. Not new program, but new. They're focusing more on the wellness side, and so this is the change that they made to get down into the wellness, to dig deep into the wellness world. Let's see. Linda says, I fell out of the window. Lori says, I haven't weighed in about a month. My size 10 to fit, and I'm still working out. Eating is good. So get back into weighing in. That's obviously the recommendation, right? Make sure you have some sort of accountability. If the weigh in is not it, whatever you use to hold you accountable is what you need to check in with. So very fun. Jennifer said, I've maintained my 85-pound weight loss for this year. Unfortunately, I'm not at goal yet. Congratulations on 85-pound weight loss. Awesome. I like that. 85 pounds. Come on, that's like a whole person. Congratulations. Celebrate that. Enjoy that. Judy says, my see more works. When I click on see more, I get like, pin, comment, delete comment, or block Jennifer. I'm not going to do any of those. So I don't know. Jennifer says, you asked what was bugging you. Yeah, right. Let's see. Angela says, hi guys, haven't caught a live show before. Forever. Got it. So welcome back. Tonight's a little different. We're just going to hang out for a few more minutes, then I have a pre-recorded episode going out for you this evening. So we'll get you that in a second. Denise says, missed my wingman in San Francisco at the Santa run yesterday. Yeah, no one else showed up. I was trying to get there, but no. Let's see. Annette says, I'm doing low carb WW and this week lost 8 pounds. Congratulations. Kathy answers the question. Pamela, they always change the materials this time of year, which is pretty much true. Joni says, first podcast in months, need focus. Well, they're all still in the app, so you can certainly listen to anyone you want. Pamela says, I liked it when there was a lifetime member book. I don't remember that. See. Jamie says, it's been a long time for me as well. I need to stay tuned in and get back on track and routine. So no, I agree with all of that. So maybe that's what the next couple, here's what I want to do. Let's do this, right? Fill my inbox. So fill my inbox with, let's do another complacency episode, right? Tell me about your complacency story. Tell me about your complacency struggle, and tell me all about that. Let's put that in on air at fatdag.com, and we'll use that. We'll finish the year on that to motivate us into next year. How's that? I will pause everything I got going. The next couple shows will only be your emails that talk about this specific time of year, the struggle of the holidays, the struggle of complacency, the struggle of whatever it is. I want to hear about it. I will answer it. So on air at fatdag.com is the email. So Amy says, what are your events like when you visit the city? So 2018 was a test. I had no idea. Here's what I have planned for 2019. Tell me if this makes sense. So 2018, I did 5K in 8 different cities. We started in Biloxi, then we went into Tulsa, we went up to Toronto, we did Denver, Philadelphia, Washington, D.C., Indy, and then San Francisco. And what I did is I found a 5K or a race in each of those cities, of one that was already going on. I signed up. I let you guys know. You signed up as well. We met at the start line. Everyone was wearing the same shirt so we could recognize each other. About an hour before the race, we hung out and said, hey, how are you? Welcome, congrats, hugs, all that good stuff. Then during the race, for some of them, I ran a little bit. Some I walked a little bit. And I kind of mixed in with the group to hang out with you guys for the 40 to 50 minutes that it took us to walk a 5K. When the race was over, we ended up hanging out for a good hour or so at the finish line. and then going to probably lunch or something close by to continue to hang out until I caught my flight back home. That was 2018. 2019, I want to expand on that. I want to go just one step beyond that. What I want to do is I want to continue. I'm not going to mess with what worked. What worked is showing up for an existing race, registering all of us for an existing race, completing the race at our own pace, and then what I want to add is a workshop component afterwards. So what will happen is if you want to do the race, and then afterwards, for those who are interested, we'll get together in a room and I will walk through a workshop of finding your why, understanding the 5 questions, probably spend about a 2-hour workshop, and then after that, fly home. And so that's kind of what I'm looking at for 2019. So I got a couple details I'm still trying to iron out to make all that happen. But that's kind of the game plan, is to make 2019 a little more than just showing up. I want to get that. What I want to do is I've noticed more than once that I ask you guys, to write down your why and to write down your story. And a lot of people struggle with that. So I want to spend a good couple hours with a smaller group. So, it would be a much more, have to register in advance. So we have a room of about a dozen people working strictly on developing our why as a group of a dozen. So that's kind of the game plan. Hopefully that, Jessica says the meetup was amazing, worth every dollar I spent. Can't wait to invest in 2019, saving money for the workshop. Highly recommended of it. Yep. So very cool. So thank you, Jessica, for sure. That was very fun. But that's kind of the game plan. I want to make 2019 a little more interesting and more beneficial than just showing up to do a 5K. In addition to all that, I also want to add every month we will have a virtual component to the 5K. So if I do a race in Houston and you live in Maine, right, it's not realistic for you to go from Maine to Houston just to come run a 5K. So I want to add once a month, our community will be doing a virtual 5K. Those who are local will do it. Those who are virtual can sign up virtually and participate with us virtually on that same day. So that's kind of the big brain going on for 2019. That's kind of what I got going on. So I'm trying to find a couple of ways to cover the expense of that. That's what's kind of holding me up from kind of locking some of the stuff in, is trying to figure out ways to pay for the meeting room, pay for the virtual swag, all that good stuff. So working on all that. But that's kind of the game plan. What do you think? Neat? Yes? No? Stella says, great idea with the workshop component. Maybe we'll test it in New York in March. I think New York is on the well, I'm coming to New York in March. I don't know if New York is on the tour stop in March or not, but I will be in New York City in March. So very fun. Yeah, so Jessica says she likes it, and Michelle agrees. So, but what's going to have to happen is, in order for this workshop to be effective, I believe I've got to narrow down the size of the group. I think about a dozen or so is really all that I would want to do in a workshop. So therefore, there's going to have to be some register nows, and it's going to have to be, unfortunately, sorry, this is sold out. Meet us at the run, that type of stuff. So not exactly thrilled about that component, but yeah, I just want to make sure I deliver it effectively in 2019, and maybe we'll test the first couple out and see where it goes from there. Jennifer says, Long Island here, still at work. Let's see. I'm going to skip through a couple of your comments. So if I missed something, apologize. Susan says, when is Seattle? Don't know. All I know is I've confirmed Seattle, or let me back up. I promised Seattle, which is a confirmation on my end. So I promised Seattle. I promised Houston, and I think Minneapolis. I'm pretty sure I promised Minneapolis as well. Yeah, pretty sure I did that. Sue. Anna says, how do I reduce stress and not stress eat? Exercise if you can. Exercise, and again, the exercise we talked about a little while ago doesn't mean go for a run, doesn't mean go for a Navy SEAL cardio kickboxing boot camp, but meditation, exercise, all that stuff that frees your brain from thought. Get your brain distracted on something that you enjoy doing that kind of boosts up your energy level to want to kind of make you feel good the rest of the day for sure. So very fun. Yeah, Judy says mowing my lawn is exercise. Exactly, exactly. There's so much we can do that we don't have to necessarily call exercise, but it is exercise. Gina says so glad. Hang on, this phone here. Let me plug this phone in. My Instagram phone is almost dead. All right, cool. Gina says, so glad to see you, Fat Dag Mike. I need this podcast tonight. So Gina, we're as you guessed, we're just hanging out, but there is a pre-recorded show that will be there when you wake up in the morning. So very fun. Let's see. Diana summed it up very well. I had lost 70 pounds before I even walked into a gym. That's it. And don't overthink this. You don't have to overthink. It's so simple to just do something. Every time there's a commercial, get up and walk to the refrigerator and back, or walk to the garage and back, walk to the front door and back. Every commercial. So, yeah, very fun. Jan says, I'm commenting on my iPhone, but can't on my laptop. Got it. Now that makes more sense. I don't know why that is. Bev says, walking is hard for me sometimes, but I'm hoping it will eventually get easier. Yes, I understand that. For sure. So here is, the strategy for you may be different. Maybe it's something just, sitting and stretching as much as you can, moving your arms, something like that. And when you do walk, take an extra step or two. Nothing elaborate. We don't need to overdo this. Mostly what exercise does, exercise really just mostly gets your brain thinking differently and says, I'm doing something deliberate that's benefiting me. And that's kind of what I'm after in this case. Gina says, having major emotional eating episodes, reset today, and it's perfect time for wise advice. So yep, welcome back. It's what's cool about that is we're all there, right? Get it, got it. So here we go. Locked in, dialed in, and refocused. Shannon says, I've never exercised, lost 105 pounds and kept it off. Very fun. So it's totally doable. Gina, 75 pounds lost here, no formal exercise. Jane says, Mike, what do you call the book that you write things in? The Book of Awesome. Right here, the Book of Awesome. Yep, Kat got it. Kat answers it right away. Good job. So does Lee. Very fun. Jennifer said, I sort of like the idea of reevaluating every week in my new booklet. Yep, very fun. Let's see, scrolling through. So I'm way behind on your comments, I'm sure. Let's see if I can scroll through. Judy said, how's the father-in-law dad? Good. I'm going to leave it at that. But thanks for asking, seriously. Gina says, Mike, I missed seeing you in San Francisco. We had our early family Thanksgiving that weekend. Yeah, I understand that for sure, too. You got to do, family certainly is the number one priority for sure. Julie says, hey, I just realized you're live. Julie, I'm live. Like, yeah, and even saying hi to you and stuff. Fun. Cool. All right, so now I'm way behind. So let me jump ahead. Keith says the 2018 tour was fun. Hope to make a lot more. Yep. Gotcha. Yep. Yeah, you guys are saying workshop 2.0, very fun. Is Boston on the, I don't know what Boston for some reason it's just not a place that appeals to me. I don't know why. If I get to the Northeast, I promise. So I have a reason to go to Maine and New Hampshire. So if I get up that way, it'll be Maine, New Hampshire, not Boston. So I'll give you that just as a personal preference. I like Boston. I spent a lot of time in Boston, but more than likely, if I'm making it that far, I have a reason to get up to Maine and New Hampshire. So look for a Portsmouth, New Hampshire, Portland, Maine. Those are possibilities. But if I'm, if I'm going to do Portsmouth, New Hampshire, or Portland, Maine, then I wouldn't do Boston in the same trip because they're close enough. Portland, Maine to Boston's an hour-ish, an hour and a half-ish. No, maybe almost two, I guess. But still, so yeah, so I wouldn't do. Generally, when I go somewhere, I don't want to go to places that are about an hour or 2 hours apart. If it's within a 2 or 3 hour drive, generally I'm going to fly all the way up there, so you can drive the other 2 hours and we can meet in the middle. So Boston, I'll honestly probably not on the books, but Maine, New Hampshire potentially. Let's go with that. Christy says, I hope I can get to an event next year. I have limited funds, so maybe I can save up. And yeah, and I wish I could get to every single city. That would make it way more fun too. So easier said than done. Once I retire for real, then maybe like I have every day free. I can go 5 days a week somewhere. So Jennifer says Panera has a free community room. So Amy says, so should we email you at contact? So how about with onair@fatdag.com is the best email address for the show. onair@fatdag.com goes right into a special inbox. So yes, issues on complacency. We're going to finish the year on complacency for sure. That's the end of the year podcast. The next few ones will be on complacency, starting with 236. I will do that. So counting on you to fill the inbox to make that happen. Marcia says, please become a patron, everyone. Marcia, thanks for the plug. I will explain that. So yes, there is a special community. So for those of you who join live, I always appreciate your support. You being here is the best thing you can do. Thank you. If you're so inclined and want to, there is a way where you can provide financial support as little as $1, as much as $1 million. Anything more than $1 million is overkill. I promise you, you don't need to be giving me more than $1 million a month. So don't do that. But $1 a month, certainly, you could go anywhere from $1 up to $1 million. You can do. You can pick whatever number you want. But it brings you into a smaller community as well, and that gives me a budget to work from as I start planning the tours and planning some other stuff and planning the show expansion, all that good stuff. So, Marcia, thanks for the plug. Yeah, and I don't plug that in the Wise Wingman community. I want the Wise Wingman community to be free of all that. I want you, when you're in there, I want you to be locked in and focused, and I don't want any distractions at all. That even if it benefits me, I don't want that. I want it to benefit you while you're in there. So Marcia, thanks for the plug there. Stella says we love that community. So today on Mondags, every Monday, the Patreon community, we get into an app inside there called Discord, and we chat for about an hour or so. That's always kind of fun too. So. Dun, 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 dun. Gotcha. So the community room. Yep. Yeah, I'm thinking though. I'm trying to find something that's a little more private, a little more secluded. That we are just us. So and I guess if they have it, we'll have to figure it out for sure. Yeah, and it certainly can be. But so generally speaking, so free room, great. More than likely, it's going to be something that's whatever hotel I'm staying at, got to be nearby that hotel so that I don't spend $1 million in Uber driving all over the place too, right? So, but we'll figure it out, figure it out. Keith, good night. Marie says, if you're not doing Cincinnati, I hope the Indy Ultimate's still on the table. Yeah, so I've emailed the Indy Ultimate folks asking for the 2019 date so I can get this out. I haven't heard back from them yet, but I'm hoping they release their date soon, so I'll know. I need to know. Yeah, David says going up and downstairs exercise too. Yep, totally. Chair exercises, yoga. Keith said just walking to work was a game changer for him. Very nice. Karen says hello. Good evening to you. Kathleen says, I'm researching stuff tomorrow based on what I heard today. Good night, Anna. Bobby checks in. Good evening to you. Let's see. Scrolling through. Pittsburgh. Maybe. So Lee says, "What? Boston's a great city." Yeah, no. So Boston totally is a great city. Boston's totally a great city, but I'm close enough to not have to get to Boston. So I have other, and again, other reasons to go close to Boston, but not to Boston. So Gina, thank you. Christy said, "I'll up my Patreon to 1 million when I hit the Powerball." Yeah, I'm telling you, 1 million is too much. Really, 985,000. That's fine, but don't be foolish, right? There's no reason for you to give me $1 million. That's just crazy talk. So, cap it at 985,000 a month. That would be perfect. But let's not get stupid on this, right? Dinas is having Wi-Fi issues tonight. Yep. So Stella says, "Good night, long day." Yeah, I agree with that. That's a great segue into it. So here's the game plan. So I got this episode ready. I'm going to get it published out Thursday night. It's a recap. It's actually the live audio. Some of you've already heard it before, but it's actually the live audio from the presentation that I delivered in Washington, D.C. So I want to get that into the app finally. So I'm releasing that tonight as episode 235. Episode 236 will be you. Right? Whatever you send in, whatever's in my inbox tomorrow will be 236. If there's nothing, then there won't be episode 236. How's that? We'll finish the year on talking about complacency, how to get out of it, how to break it, how to recognize it. And because I think that's kind of a common theme. We'll roll into 2017 with season 3 of the podcast. Let's see. Bobby says, "Have you heard that WW is doing away with Lifetime? I pray not, because that's my whole point and goal." So, Bobby, I can honestly tell you, in all the training that I've been through, everything I've gone through, everything I've seen, I have not heard of that before. I see that floating around the internet. I have not seen anything in whatever I have access to. I have not seen anything that indicates that to me. So don't let that detract you, right? For sure. So you got this. And like I said, I don't believe it's going away, but I'm not in those circles. I promise you that. But at the same point, all the training materials that I've gone through, it still mentions it. So if they were getting away with it, I don't know why they would still mention it in the training materials. So there you go. How's that? So, all right, so that's through. Let's wrap this up. Let's go ahead and shut everything down and get this episode published. Judy says there will be a 236, 7, and on and on and on. That's up to you. So, all right, so here we go. So let's wrap it up again. Like I said, Instagram, thank you, good night, wishing you good focus. We will see you soon. Bye-bye. And then you're welcome, Jessica. Good to see you as well. Thanks for flying up to see us in San Francisco. Honor to meet you for sure. So, but thank you, YouTube. We're wrapping up. Have a great evening. We'll see you let's try hard for this week. We'll see you Wednesday night. Let's do that. I wish you good focus. Bye-bye.